Hello viewers, you are highly welcome to my YouTube channel. Into this tutorial today, we are going to continue from where we stopped. So we are still under binary operations, but today we are going to be talking about another property, which is inverse elements. So what do you understand by inverse elements? So under this binary operation. So let's quickly look at the definition I have on this board. Now I have that is an inverse element a to power minus 1. So now we represent our inverse element to be a raised to power minus 1 belong to set of real number is called an inverse of a that is also belong to set of real number under the operation star. Let's say we have an operation given to be what? To be star. Then if a as there is a inverse equals to e. So now what we are trying to say here is that so whenever you combine a particular number under the set of real number by another which is inverse, okay, and it gives what? It gives the identity. So if you don't forget, you can see that e is what? E is our identity element. So now when you combine a number, with its identity, with its inverse, I guess now it gives what? It gives identity. Now let's quickly look at this. Now let's look at 1. The inverse of what? The inverse additive of what? Of this one is what? Is minus 1. Are you getting it now? You can see that when you combine this and this, let's say 1 plus 1 this. So you can see that plus minus is going to give us what? It's going to give us minus. We have minus 1 minus 1. We have what? We have 0. You can see under what? Under additions operations, you can see that we have what? We have what? We have the result to be what? To be identity, because 0 is the identity. Then also under the multiplication, let's say we have 2, then multiplied by 1 over 2. The inverse of 2 is what? Is 1 over 2. Now when we multiply this one we cancel this one. You can see that we have what? We have 1. Is that understood? So now under multiplication, so as we said in the last video, that is under what? Under multiplications, though the identity element that we have what? Is 1. Are you getting it now? So therefore, that is what we are going to be looking at today. Okay, having a number combined with its inverse, so gives identity element. Is that understood? So now without wasting most of our time, so I would like to give us an example so that we can do and see how we can find our inverse. So now let's say we have to find a inverse given the operation, given the operation star to be what? The operation star to be, that is a as there is b to be equals to, okay, let me put it down here, a as there is b to be given as what? A plus b, okay, then plus ab. So now we are given this, and don't forget that this is what? This is the equation that we are going to use to get our inverse. Okay, so now from here, but before we can get our inverse, so we need to determine our identity elements. Therefore, the first thing we are going to do is to get what is our identity element. So now from here, we are going to use this to get our identity element. So don't forget that to have our identity elements, we combine a with what? With e, and it gives us what? It gives us a. So we are going to use this formula on what? On this definition given to us. So therefore, anywhere we see b from here, we are going to what? We are going to replace it with what? With e. Do you understand? So this is going to be a, that is a plus what? Plus e plus a e. Are you getting that? Then according to the definition, the definition is what? Is a as there is what? A as there is e equals to what? Equals to a. So therefore, we are going to be having what? We are going to be having a. So from here, we try to what? To collect the right hand and make e the subject of the formula. Are you following? So now from here, we are going to have what? A plus what? A, then plus e. From here, e is what? E is common here. I have 1 plus what? 1 plus a equals to what? Equals to a. So now from here, I can set this a to this other side. I have e into bracket 1 plus a equals to a minus a. Okay, because this a is coming down to this place. So now from here you can see that minus a, that is a minus a, is going to give us 0. So we have this to be what? We have this one to be 0. Are you getting now? So we're now going to divide through. So from there we are going to divide through by what? 1 plus a to get our e. So therefore 0 over 1 plus a, you can see that we have our e to be 0. Therefore our identity element is what? Is equals to what? Equals to 0. So now that is not where we are going. Our target is to get the what? To get the inverse. So therefore we are now going to what? Therefore we are going to use what? We are going to use this formula now. That is, we have a times a, I think a asterisk what? A asterisk a inverse equals to what? Equals to e. Okay, so therefore we are going to use what? A asterisk a inverse. So using this formula again, are you getting me now? Therefore here, this is my a here and this is my b. Are you getting now? And don't forget that our e is what? Is 0. We have gotten that already. So therefore we are going to compute a asterisk a inverse using this formula. Therefore we are going to have a plus b is what? Is a inverse. Okay, then plus a inverse, which is equals to, what is our e? E is what? Is 0. So from what we have here, are you following? So now from here, what's the next thing to do? So what we are going to do now is that we are going to send this a to the other side. We have a inverse plus a inverse equals to minus what? Minus a, because we send this a to this side here. So now the next thing we are going to do is to factorize what? A inverse. So we have a inverse into bracket, what is left here is 1 plus what? Plus a, then equals to what? Minus a. Are you following me? So now from here, what's the next thing to do? Because we are looking for a inverse, so we are going to divide through by 1 plus a. So now dividing through by 1 plus a, what are we going to have? We are going to have our a inverse to be equals to minus a over what? Over 1 plus a. Are you getting now? And that is what we are looking for. Are you getting it now? So that is the solution. This is what? This is the a inverse is equals to minus a divided by 1 plus a. Are you getting it now? So now let's say you want to determine, you want to determine the position or the point that doesn't have what? That doesn't have an inverse. I guess in the set of real number, what you are going to do is that you are going to set the denominator 1 plus a, so it wants to equal to 0. So we are going to have what? We are going to have a to be minus 1. Definitely at the point a, at the point minus 1. I get it now. So that's what? Minus 1 doesn't have what? Doesn't have an inverse element under what? Under this operation given. That is just that. But I just tried to what? To move further. This is actually where we are going. Are you getting it now? This is where we are going, because when you put a equals to minus 1 here, you can see that this a inverse will become what? Will become undefined. Do you understand now? Because whenever the denominator becomes 0, definitely the fraction becomes undefined. And that is the solution to the problem. If you find the class very interesting, do not hesitate to hit on the subscribe button, hit on the bell icon, so that you'll be notified anytime you upload a new content. Thank you for watching. Bye.